We have an update when it comes to a sad and very confusing situation involving multiple passengers that missed their cruise, literally watching it sail off into the sunset without them after they say their reservations had allegedly been canceled somehow. It does appear that the plot has definitely thickened, and it seems that there may be some lack of information because what we've been understanding about this entire situation, this conundrum, if you will, is that there's been a lot of finger pointing. There's a travel agent that's pointing the finger at Carnival, Carnival pointing the finger back at the travel agent. It is a giant mess, and to be honest with all of you, this situation and update may just bring about more questions than it does answers. However, I do have to be honest with all of you in saying that I did indeed make a mistake. While it wasn't a major part of my video yesterday, I did realize that there is a platform known as TravelJoy that a lot of travel agents use, and they find it extremely useful. I looked at it as more of a third party. That was my mistake on my behalf. I'm sorry about that. Of course, when it comes to these hot situations that are taking place, there are things that can be easily missed. And even in the travel agent space, I saw some comments of some travel agents that do use it and absolutely love it. There were some that typically, when travel agents or just in people in general, where they don't use a certain platform or system or just something they don't like, they tend to downplay it as something that may be third party, not as useful. And this was the situation overall, so I do apologize. That is my bad. There are a lot of people that use TravelJoy for tools that they may have and other things when it comes to, let's say in this particular case, any group cruises that may be happening. So right now there is a travel agent that has become notorious. Her name is Monica Faulkner. You guys saw her in the news clip yesterday. There are a lot of people that are not very happy with her, especially the travel joyers, I might add, the people that use TravelJoy when they are putting together their group cruises. Because basically what will happen is, if you see something like a group cruise, like in this particular case, a 90s cruise or an LGBT cruise, depending on the site and how they are operating things, they're using something called a CRM. This is a customer relationship management system. It does collect your data, and on platforms like TravelJoy, it does also allow the travel agent to put the group together and also charge the passengers that are going to be on board. And for a lot of cruise lines, like in this particular case for Carnival, it is required that they are charged. That way they can have the whole lump sum and it can be sent over to Carnival with no questions, knowing that it has been processed. There are obviously a lot of moving parts when it comes to, let's say, a large group cruise, or even if you think bigger, a charter cruise or a buyout. The artists that are there, if there are some, need to get paid. There may be some vendors that need to get paid. There are special events that require maybe certain attention that also needs to be taken care of. A lot of moving parts. And the reason I'm explaining this when it comes to TravelJoy, even though, like I said, this is not the main focus, but I want to kind of clear the air with this and give all of you somewhat of a better understanding of what is going on, is that it looks like somewhere at some point in time, somebody, maybe a travel agent, not accusing anybody of anything, but allegedly somebody may have potentially dropped the ball when it comes to, let's say, in this particular case, payments with certain passengers. As many of you know, regardless if you are booking a cruise yourself, let's say a year prior to the cruise, you put down a deposit, or if a travel agent is booking a cruise for you, there are time restraints with the cruise lines in which the full payment must be made. Once again, I'm not saying this is exactly what happened because none of this can be confirmed, because it seems like there is a lot of withholding of information, maybe even some lying here and there, as we do have Monica Faulkner stating that the passengers that missed the cruise are going to get a refund, and there's just a lot more, at least from what I can see and from what many other people are talking about, stating that there's probably more to this story that Monica Faulkner is letting on at this point in time. Realistically, we may or may not ever find out what exactly went down here, but it is a mess, and it is sad and unfortunate for the passengers that ended up missing their 90s cruise, because this is not something that happens every week. It's not a traditional week-long cruise in which you can indulge in, and just if you miss it, you can just make it up. They now have to wait till possibly another year. But one thing we do know is that it is not TravelJoy's fault. Never said that it was. It's not Carnival's fault. Never said that it was. However, there's only realistically two elements involved here yet to look at. It does appear at this point in time there are the passengers involved and there is the travel agent. I'll leave it all up to you to decide maybe who is potentially and allegedly at fault here. However, I do have to point out something else when it comes to this situation. I did see a few comments of people saying that this makes all travel agents look bad. Let me ask you this. To people that are, let's say, unintentionally ignorant to certain aspects and subjects of life and factors and situations, if something happened on a Carnival cruise, would you say altogether you're going to wash your hands of cruising? And, well, if Carnival had issues, then MSC must have issues, and Royal Caribbean has issues, and so on and so forth. Virgin, you name it. There are different levels when it comes to travel agents. agents. My advice to all of you is to find somebody that is reputable. Maybe you are referred to said travel agent by a friend. Maybe you've actually done some research on said travel agency, because they all use their own platforms and marketing tools and everything in between so that they can hopefully give you the best vacation possible. End of story. Anywho, that's what I got. I do have another video coming up later on today. Of course, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.